Have you ever set your alarm for 4 a.m. with big plans, only to hit snooze and wake up hours later feeling guilty? Maybe you've heard that successful people wake up early. Maybe you've tried it yourself, once, twice, maybe 10 times. And every time you tell yourself the same thing. I'm just not a morning person. I need my sleep. But what if the first hours of your day hold the power to change your entire life? What if one man's story could prove that your destiny is decided before the sun rises? This is the story of a man who had nothing until 4 a.m. became his secret weapon. Stay with me, because this might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. In a coastal manufacturing city where cargo ships arrived before dawn and warehouses never slept, there lived a 29-year-old man named Evan. Evan worked nights at a shipping depot. Every evening at 7 p.m. he clocked in. Every morning at 5:30 a.m. he clocked out, tired, drained, and empty. His pay barely covered rent and food. He lived in a small studio apartment above a busy street. Thin walls, old furniture, a mattress on the floor. But Evan's real problem wasn't money. It was feeling stuck. Every morning, riding the bus home, he watched the city wake up. Cafes opening, people jogging, office workers heading to jobs with purpose. And Evan would think, is this really my life? He had tried to change. He applied for better jobs. He looked into courses. But after working all night, he was too tired to do anything except sleep. His father, who lived alone in a small rural town, called every Sunday. "Son, when is your life going to get better? I just want to see you doing well before I'm gone." Evan always answered the same way. "Soon, Dad. I'm working on it." But the truth was, he wasn't. Not because he was lazy. He worked hard every night. But hard work alone wasn't changing anything. Every morning, collapsing into bed around 6 a.m. and sleeping through the day, Evan felt like he was living backward. The world moved forward while he slept through it. And one thought kept coming back. There has to be another way. One freezing morning in January, just as Evan was leaving work, his phone rang. It was his aunt. "Evan, your dad collapsed. He's in the hospital." His heart dropped. He took the first train out of the city, a long ride that felt even longer. At the hospital, his father lay weak and pale. The doctor said it was exhaustion and stress, better food, medicine, care they couldn't really afford. His father held Evan's hand and said something Evan would never forget. "Don't waste your life struggling like I did. Find a way." That night, Evan stepped outside the hospital. It was 4 a.m. The town was silent. Streetlights flickered. A bakery down the road was just starting to open. And standing there, in the quiet before sunrise, Evan made a decision. No more. I'm done living like this. I will find a way. On the early train back to the city, Evan noticed something. A woman sitting across from him, calm, focused, reading. He recognized her, Ms. Alvarez, a successful business owner in town. What surprised Evan wasn't who she was. It was the time, 4:45 a.m. He hesitated, then spoke. "Excuse me, why are you up this early?" She smiled. "Because I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I use this time to think, read, and plan before the world wakes up." "But Don't you need sleep? I sleep by 8:30 p.m. every night. After hearing Evan's schedule, she nodded slowly. So you're awake when the world sleeps, and asleep when the world works. No wonder you feel stuck. Then she leaned forward. Let me tell you a secret that changed my life. The hours between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., those are powerful hours. That's when you build the life you want while everyone else is still dreaming. Evan felt something stir inside him. Hope. She explained it simply. 2 hours every morning. No negotiation. Hour 1. Learn a skill that can change your income. Not scrolling, not entertainment. Hour 2. Build your body and your mind. She did the math for him. 14 hours a week. Over 700 hours a year. That's almost 3 extra months of progress every year, she said, while everyone else is asleep. Then she set the rules. Wake up at 4 a.m. every day. Sleep by 8:30 p.m. The first weeks will be brutal. Give it 90 days, she said. If you actually do the work, come back to me. The next morning, Evan's alarm went off at 4 a.m. Every part of him wanted to quit, but he remembered his father's voice, that hospital room, that promise. So he got up. The first weeks were miserable. At 4 a.m., while the city slept, Evan studied free online courses, supply chain basics, spreadsheets, project management. At 5 a.m., he walked empty streets and listened to audiobooks. By week 3, something changed. His body adjusted, his mind sharpened. By month 2, things started to click. By month 3, Evan applied what he learned at work, organizing shipments, reducing mistakes, saving time. People noticed. On day 89, Evan was called into the office. They offered him a daytime role, nearly double the pay. 1 year later, Evan had moved his father closer to the city and made sure he was taken care of. And Evan still woke up at 4 a.m., not because he had to, but because those 2 hours changed his life. When people asked him why he still woke up so early, Evan would smile and say, "Success isn't a destination. It's a daily practice. And mine starts at 4 a.m. Now let me ask you something. What would change in your life if you owned the first 2 hours of your day? Tonight, set your alarm for 4 a.m., not 4:15, not 4:30. Decide what you're going to build in that first hour. Protect your sleep. Because the difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's how you use the time when everyone else is sleeping. Your future self is awake at 4 a.m. The question is, will you be? Stories like Evan's aren't rare. They're just rarely told honestly. If you want more of them, please subscribe.